Hi, it's Amy. Um, Week 3 discussion. What are effective strategies to address the linguistic needs of second language learners with special needs? I went through some of the links, and the first link that I found some information, the Colorado ELLs with special needs effective strategies. I feel one strategy that is very important is to have trained personnel able to assess the child. Assessments aren't a blanket. One assessment doesn't fit every student. So we need to make sure that the second language learner is receiving assessments that are appropriate for them, as well as having the trained personnel. We should have trained SPED teachers, not only to teach for the disability and provide the services, but we also have to be able to implement the strategies for a second language learner. And we have to do those at the same time. So that's two very important things that we need to make sure we get training for. The second strategy is obviously is early intervention. So if we, or if a gen ed teacher, parents, or we as SPED teachers are noticing a child is having difficulty, and it is because, or it could be because they are second language learners, we need to go to that pre-referral process and start the process to make sure that we are going to provide what is needed for that child. So early intervention, I feel, is also very important. Another strategy that I read about was the clinical teaching, and I really think this is a good idea. This is where you teach in a sequenced pattern, and you go from the skill and then the subject and the content, and then you go back and you reteach. And you don't reteach the same way, you add a different approach. You might add different manipulatives or different visuals or audio or film or something that may reach a second language learner that the first teaching approach might have went right over their head. So clinical teaching, I really think, is a great strategy, and it's a strategy that we can use across the board. Then I watched a YouTube video under Padlet with Elizabeth Jimenez, and I really liked what she had to say, but her video is only 3 minutes, and I wish it was a little bit longer. She talks about like phonemic awareness and I think how, like, I took from it that having a structured literacy program, which at the school I work at, we do have one. It's called Sonday, SONDAY, and I meet with my students 4 times a week for 30 minutes. And the basis behind Sonday is repetition. And we start off with read sounds. Now, for this to work for a second language learner, I really need to bring in their language. So if it's Spanish, I really need to have words in Spanish that they already know, and then pair them with the English word and, do the sounds and then start doing the words. So having a structured literacy program is so important, and I think it's a very useful strategy to have. With that being said, another strategy when it comes to reading is to I would stand up and I would read the word, I would model how to say it, and then I would ask the student to repeat it. And we wouldn't just say it one time and walk away. It would be, the word would be repeated, said, modeled, repeated, said, modeled, repeated. And once they have the word, we're going to add another word, and we're going to make small phrases. And then that small phrase, once they have that down, we can put it into sentences. And then here they are, they're saying sentences. They're hearing the Spanish and they're putting it together with English, and pretty soon they're saying more English than they are Spanish. So I think the read first model and have students repeat, again, another good strategy. And then, the more I thought about, and I read this in the California, I believe this was the California English Language Development Standards. We have to be culturally aware of the students, and we need to allow them to bring in their life experiences and their background knowledge into our classroom. And the reason why I say that is because one of the strategies says to promote extended discussions after asking questions. If I ask a question of a second language learner, and it's about a topic that they really don't have the concept and they don't have a knowledge, they're not going to want to talk about it. And if they don't want to talk about it, how are they going to practice speaking? So if we bring in background knowledge that they have their life experience, they're going to want to tell us, they're going to want to talk. So the more they want to talk, the more they're going to want to practice and they're going to get better. So I really think that is probably one of my favorite strategies, is to allow background knowledge, life experience from the students into the classroom, incorporated into our lesson, our instruction in the classroom, because no one wants to talk about a subject that they know nothing about, that they struggle with, or that they find boring. So if we allow them to, bring up a discussion that, that they know, I think we will see a lot of progress that way. And then finally, and I know there's so many more, but scaffolding, or providing temporary supports that build on the student's skill. Like I said, with the literacy program, we're going to start off at the bottom rung, and we're going to start out with just sounds. How do the sounds sound in English? And then we're going to put the sounds to words, and we're going to use picture cards and visuals. And then we're going to go into phrases, and then sentences, and then couple sentences, 3 sentences, and then maybe a paragraph. So I think scaffolding is another strategy as well. Like I said, there are many, many strategies, and I really hope that I get some responses and I hear some other strategies that I can use in my learning center. All right, thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good rest of your day or your night. Take care. Bye-bye.